Hello, friends. Welcome back to Gecko's Gaming. Today we're going to be asking the question: is mono black viable in standard? And this is a deck I threw together a couple days ago. I am currently 9-3 with it in Diamond rank best of three, so it seems to be somewhat viable. The idea is we have strong creatures, kind of above rate creatures with Cecil, Sunset Saboteur, Unstoppable Slasher, and we try to catch them off balance, try to finish them off early with these aggressive and evasive creatures. And but then we also can play a long game with the Annex and Arch Enemy's Charm and getting some card advantage value. And then, of course, we have the instant kill combo with Unstoppable Slasher and Bloodletter of Aclazotz. So Cecil obviously doesn't need much introduction. It's one of the strongest creatures in Standard. And in this deck in particular, I've gone up to 4 from 3 because I just always want it early game if I can. Um, it trades off with anything, and then it puts them on a pretty fast clock. So it's good on offense, good on defense, and we can flip it pretty quickly in here. It flips well with Unholy Annex. So if we're putting an Annex out early and we're losing life, it helps us flip our Cecil faster, which can gain us the life back and get us a bigger creature. Similarly with Bitter Triumph, we can pay 3 life to flip Cecil faster, and kind of use that as a surprise sometimes even. And then Sunset Saboteur, very strong card. If you've been following the channel, you've probably heard me lament about the lack of 2-drops for black and standard. That problem has been fixed with the new set. This card is insane. Very strong, very solid. It's good when attacking. It's good against control, combo, ramp, any of that kind of stuff. But it's actually the downside of when you attack, you put a +1 counter on target creature and opponent controls. I find this to be negligible even against aggressive or other mid-range decks. Obviously, it is a real downside there, but because you have a combination of unconditional removal being black, plus you can always just use it to block and trade off with an aggressive creature if you're behind on the race. I find the downside of having to put a +1 counter on them is pretty well mitigated, and so I keep it in even against aggressive decks often, just as a blocker that has, they have to 2-for-1 themselves if they want to remove your blocker, or you just trade off with one of their creatures. So it's pretty reasonable in that sense. The other thing is too, is since it's has evasion and a high power, it's another great way to smack with Bloodletter, and you can attack for 8 with evasion on a 2-drop if you have a Bloodletter out. So that's pretty good. We have the Demon Wall again. Never really excited to play this card, but it somehow just kind of keeps making the cut. It's never exciting, but it does get the Annex going right away on turn 3, and you can start draining for 2. It's good against aggressive decks. It clogs up the board. And then late game, it becomes another threat that they have to deal with. It's a good top deck in the late game. So that's nice for a 2-drop, being able to have a powerful threat late game if you top deck it. It holds the ground early. It's a big threat later. And it actually goes up a little bit with Arch Enemy's Charm, since this can put +1 counters on something. It's not usually the way you want to use Arch Enemy's Charm, but it could come up. I will say I had Deep Cavern Bat in here for a while, and I'm trying out the wall now instead. So I had 2 bats instead of the 2 walls. And I like the bat in terms of the early game presence of being able to throw them off balance and to get through with your early creatures. But late game, the bat is very disappointing, and so the Demon Wall gives us more late game. It's also better against aggro. So you can go different directions with that. I'm just trying out the Demon Wall now. We'll see how it goes. And then, yeah, the bat was really nice. The Deep Cavern Bat was nice for getting a critical massive hand disruption early on to get that early kill. But now we're looking at a little bit more of a long game plan with the Demon Wall. Slasher, Bloodletter, still good. Both of these cards are still good. I will say that the Bloodletter has often just been dying to removal a lot. So um, I'm interested in looking at a different version of the deck that doesn't do the Demons thing and maybe plays Dark Confidant and a lower curve and still uses the Sunset Saboteur and go in that direction. Then you don't have to play Demon Wall either. We just kind of cut this package here and lower the curve a little bit, make it more aggressive, and then lead on Dark Confidant for our card advantage. So I'm interested in exploring a version of the deck like that, but stay tuned. That one will probably be up later. And then for interaction, I have Stab, Duress, 3 Duress, 2 Stab. I mean, Duress finds hits often enough against most decks in the format, and it can be a liability against the blue-green mid-range deck especially, but you can always just sideboard it out then. I like having a little bit of hand disruption still, and it lets you plan out. Just seeing their hand is really helpful information. So it's been good here. Stab. I have this over a tragic trajectory because instant speed is very important, and I don't really find myself needing the trajectory -10 thing that often because we have other forms of big removal spells, and the especially Stab is just really important against the Dimir mid range decks. You just need to be able to play at instant speed there, otherwise you just get blown out, and you can't really interact with what they're doing. So that's why I have Stab over Tragic Trajectory. Bear Triumph has been pretty solid so far. I'm often not really concerned with paying 3 life, either because I'm on the front foot in the matchup or because I can gain life back pretty easily with Unholy Annex or Archenemy's Charm. But I could see playing some number of Shoot the Sheriffs instead of this. Like, I've been thinking about doing a split of 1 Triumph, 1 Shoot the Sheriff. I don't have any Shoot the Sheriffs in the 75 right now because it's just been, I don't know, there's just too many things that it doesn't hit. So you can play it if you want. I'm not super married to not playing it. It's just kind of how it's kind of where I ended up after playing it a few times, being disappointed when I needed to hit a Soulstone Sanctuary or another Saboteur or things like that. It just missed a lot of key cards in the format. So Barry Triumph has been good. The fact that it can hit Planeswalker is quite relevant, especially against blue-black. The Is It Cauldron decks they'll bring in Ral post-board, so it's nice having it for that too. And then you also, I often have myself, like, usually you're able to either give up 3 life or give up a card because you have Annex, which gives you a bunch of cards. So, yeah, I could see, it's still jury's out on what is the best removal suite to have, but that's where I'm at right now. Strategic Betrayal, I'm main decking this because of Cauldron, and it's just really good against the Cauldron decks, and I could see playing 4 of them in the main deck even, depending on how much Is It Cauldron you expect to run into. But it's also just serviceable against a lot of other decks. Yeah, just a solid removal spell. The ability to exile the graveyard in the main is very nice. And then Archenemy's Charm is very strong. Being able to exile any creature or planeswalker, especially good against Dimmer. It hits Kaido, it hits Enduring Curiosity, and just being able to cleanly answer those 2 things in one card that's good and main deckable is something that the Demons deck and the Mono Black has been struggling with. I used to have to play Blot Out. This is a lot better than Blot Out. So, yeah, very happy with this card. And then returning 2 creatures from your graveyard to your hand comes up quite a bit too in the late game. The mode I use the least is probably the 2+1/+1 counters and lifelink, but it's still viable. And so, yeah, that's the deck. Let's take a look at the sideboard quick. We have 3 Ghost Vacuums. These are primarily for, again, Cauldron, the blue-red Cauldron decks, but they'll come in against really anything that uses the graveyard. You have Yuna, things like that. If you're up against another Unstoppable Slasher deck, you can use it to take care of the Slasher. Cruel Claw's Heist is here for control, mid-range, and just additional disruption to bring in against top-end decks and control decks and things like that. Duress is just the 4th Duress. Like, again, we want that for control and combo-based decks. We have the 2 more stabs, so I have 4 stabs altogether. I also have a Tragic Trajectory. I I would play the one Tragic Trajectory. You know, again, it's playable against Dimmer as long as you're maxing out on the instant speed interaction first. And I just like having a low curve of lots of removal. So you really want to make sure that you're not falling into the trap of having too high of a mana curve in a deck like this. It can get clunky with the Bloodletter and the Annex and this type of stuff. So you want to keep it low to the ground as much as possible. So that's where the Trajectory comes in as that 5th 1-mana removal spell. I have the 3rd and 4th Strategic Betrayals in here. Again, just very solid against Cauldron and other things. 1 Karsi Revenant just as an additional threat. Not much to say about it. I mean, sometimes I just basically found that I wanted another threat, so that's why I brought that in. Whale of War is good against Dimmer. It's really, really good against Dimmer. And again, being able to instant speed sweep is very important in that matchup. And then I've also used it against the self bounce decks, the Esper self bounce decks. It takes out the Kieran and it takes out the Otter tokens. So I found it to. I've been having good luck with it there, although I haven't played the matchup a whole bunch. I think I've played it twice and it was good there. So I don't think that the format is in such a place that you need lots of sweepers right now. Otherwise, I might play the 3 mana that gives everything -2/-2. But I'd rather have the instant speed right now, so that's the idea behind that. All right, well, yeah, that's the deck. Let's go ahead and hop into some games. All right, first round. Have a good hand, a good curve. So we have Cecil. We might not do something on turn 2, but then we have the turn 3 Annex. Hopefully that'll help us get the 4th land pretty quick to put the Bloodletter out. Okay, Dimmer. Yep. Alright, let's go ahead and attack. I'm going to hold the Bitter Triumph to see if we can get them at instant speed here with it. They might try to explore. You can get them that way. If not, I'll just hold it, I guess. Actually, yeah, I think I'm gonna. It's tough because it's my only removal spell, but I don't want Kaido to come down next turn. So I think it's worth it just to pay 3 life and take this thing out right now. It feels bad, but yeah. So this is another situation where if this was Shoot the Sheriff, I wouldn't be able to remove it since it's a pirate. So keeping stuff like that in mind. And then Slasher or Bloodletter first? I think I'm going to go with the Slasher. Yeah, we need to have some board presence to block here in case they have a Kaido. Plus this opens up a potential instant kill next turn if they don't deal with it. I don't want my life total to go down too much right now against the blue-black tempo deck. So that's another reason not to play NX this turn. Exploring. Shoot the Sheriff. Also doesn't hit, since Slasher is an assassin, it doesn't hit the Slasher either. But I think I have to, kind of annoying, I think I have to take this trade though. Because otherwise it's just Vigilance, then it just blocks on the way back anyways, so. But here I'm actually going to play the Annex out, I think. Actually, no, let's go for the Bloodletter. Let's go for the kill. They're on 2 lands, so we can try to... Let's try to kill them as fast as possible. And then next turn, we can swing for 4 with the Bloodletter, which is really going to be 8 with Annex, and still have stab up. Okay, that opens up another option to play the 5-mana 6/6. Let's go ahead and attack, see what they do. Sure. Okay, since they're tapped out, I do feel comfortable just dropping our 6/6 here. And then next turn I can stab plus unlock Annex and start drawing cards. And now they have 3 threats they need to deal with on the board. Potentially 4 if we bring the Soulstone also. Yeah. So the opponent just kind of stumbled on mana this game. Just gave us an opportunity to get ahead, which is a very good place to be against the Tempo deck. But let's see what they have here. Flip Pit's Drowner. Tapping my 6/6. Okay. Let's go ahead and stab this now. Get in for a bunch of damage. Flip Cecil. Yeah, GG. Okay, so against blue-black, we want Trajectory, we want the stabs, all the stabs in. Want Whale of War. Demon Wall is not great, it's pretty slow. Bitter Triumph is kind of slow too. Some number of Duress is fine, especially post board. These decks tend to bring in more interaction, more non-creatures. Yeah, let's cut a Bitter Triumph. Strategic Betrayal is also pretty slow. And maybe I want a Demon Wall over... Maybe I want some combination of Demon Wall, Bitter Triumph, Karsi Revenant, and Duress. I think 3 Duress is fine. I'll play 1 Triumph. And on the draw, I think I like lowering the curve a little bit. So with these Bloodletters, bringing in Demon Walls and Karsi Revenant instead. Alright, this looks pretty good. Let's try this. I think this is keepable. We just need a land. Just any land. We have a 43% chance of drawing a land per draw. And we'll get like 3 shots at it. I think it's fine. This is a situation where I may consider discarding if I want to triumph. Just because of because we're on the draw and we're under the gun, it's likely that they'll kill us with cards left in our hand still this game, so. Okay, that's not what we want to draw. Okay, so they're showing a counter spell, so I'm gonna pass here. No attacks, huh? I wonder what's up with that. Either a charm or an annex is going to get discarded. The charm is just, I'm so far away from casting it, but it's very good against them. Yeah, I guess I'll do that. Okay, Soulstone Sanctuary. Tell you what, I smell a counter spell, so I think I'm gonna run out. Which one am I most comfortable throwing away? A slasher or an annex or a saboteur? Let's go with the saboteur. Okay, it comes in. Okay, that's pretty good. The perfect answer. Let's try the slasher now. Yep. Okay, they're going to be drawing cards now. Yeah, not a good spot here at all. I suppose it was a questionable keep having only 2 lands early on. Okay, let's stab this. Deny them the explore trigger. You probably take the charm here, right? I mean, I don't know what they have. They have 4 cards in hand, so yeah. All right, that's game. Yeah, the not getting the black there really hurt us. Now I'm on the play again, so it makes a question of maybe bringing in some more bloodletters. It's just really bad in this matchup, though. But I guess so is Demon Wall, so I'll split the difference. We'll do 1-1, so I'll have 3 bloodletters, 1 Demon Wall, I guess. I don't know. I definitely need to tighten up the sideboard plan for blue-black. Play first. Okay, good hand. Low curve. Type of hand we want to see on the play. That land was a good draw too. Opponent is in the tank. Could they have? they would consider playing at sorcery speed here. Is it like Spyglass Siren plus Explorer or something like that? Way to run. So good against the Saboteur. So good there. But we have another one, so throw that out. How badly do I wish this Tragic Trajectory was a stab right now? Sure. Bend to rest. Let's go to combat. Let's attack. Yeah, okay. Well, so you just have a bunch of those. And that's really good against me. Okay. Sure. Talk about awkward. Yeah, just killing the curiosity here. I don't want them to start drawing cards with it. I don't want them to risk untapping and having a counter spell to protect it against removal also.
The housewarming party has arrived. Take a break, will ya?
Yes, yep. You can see my awesome hand. Sure. We just need to block Kaido, so I guess this is what we're doing.
Now I know your weakness.
It's just surveilling 2. Doesn't get to draw. If I draw another land, it's an interesting question of whether I attack Kaido or attack the face with the Bloodletter. Because if I attack this face... Okay, never mind, doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and attack Kaido. See, maybe his last card is something. Yeah, it's another Famine Interference. Okay. So we can plus Kaido to be able to attack their Cecil here. Oh, he's just tapping instead. Okay. Okay. Interesting. So he's going to attack. And, you know, if... Do I want to trade the Bloodletter for 2 cards of his right now? and then end up in the same position again next turn. I think no. I think I need to take the 4. Let him draw 2 cards. Really sucks, but you know, if he just doesn't hit anything good, then we'll probably be able to finish him off. Sure.
Bet you didn't expect to see me here.
Of course, of course.
Press the attack.
Yeah, so we just lose. All right. Well, I mean that last game, a lot of things really went very well for them, in terms of having the perfect like no to runs on time and everything kind of just lining up the way it did. Um, Ripping Kaido off the top there. All right. All right. Hopping into the next round here, round 2. It's a nice hand. Keep it. I'm sort of tracking how often Demon Wall is. How often I'd rather have a Demon Wall be a bat. And I think here I probably would rather have it be a bat. Okay, is this a mirror match of some sort? Another mono black player. This is. It is a mono black deck. It's different than ours. I suppose timeline color is also a consideration I could play. Sure. At this point, I think I'm just down to trade. Unfortunate. So I guess it's flip Cecil. Hopefully I can start drawing cards that do stuff at some point here. That'd be cool. Not attacking. We're just on the block with Unstoppable Slasher plan right now. Okay, so they just kind of paid 2 life for no reason, I guess. Alright. I don't know. Take the Carcy Revenant. Strategic Betrayal seems good with all the timeline colors. Stab, maybe. Tragic Trajectory. Cut Duress. You know, they have a 2-3 and a 2-2 that comes back, so I don't know how great these stabs are going to be, actually. But I guess we'll see. They probably have some more small creatures, I would imagine. Cut Bitter Triumph. I don't want to be paying life here or resources against them. And then on the draw, I guess I'll cut a Bloodletter too. Alright, let's try this out. I don't think I want to bring in Ghost Vacuum, because if they don't have color, it just... I can't afford to really just be going down one card like that. And I have other ways to deal with the color. The Exile their Graveyard is a lot better, since they're aggressive. Okay, this is a good hand we have here. Only thing it's missing is some removal, but I guess we have creatures to block instead. Drawing lands off Bob, that's what you want to do. Oh yeah, this is the one that makes a skeleton, right? Makes it 3-2, and at the beginning of upkeep, if you descended this turn, you may pay 1 life and return the enchantment to their hand. Okay. So blocking won't get us very far, because they'll get to recast it again next turn. Just take 3. Go with Annex, start gaining life, draining them, drawing cards. I chose that over the Slasher because I just feel like I'm on a stable board right here, so I wanted to advance my game plan. But now that they have this stuff going on, maybe not. I could take 8, go to 9. And then next turn, play another Annex. Yeah, I think I'm actually doing that. I'm wondering if I want to attack with Cecil and flip him. If I attack with Cecil, he blocks with his Cecil and they just trade. That's what's going to happen. And then I lose 2 life, but I don't get to flip, so I don't love that. It's got a timeline color in the graveyard. Makes me kind of want to play Slasher, hold back. Alright, let's just do that. Elegy Acolyte, okay. try this. Keeping open the opportunity that maybe he'll hit another big card with Bob and die. Perfect draw. We got him. Alright, we got there. That's pretty scary though. That deck, this deck looks pretty cool. Pretty close to kind of what I was just talking about what if we take mono black in a different direction, play Bob instead of demons. Round 3. Ready, fight. Nope. We're gonna send this one back. One colorless land is not enough. Neither is 0 lands, so we're gonna go to 5. I'm gonna put back a land and a Cecil. Turn 1 elves. Pretty scary. We do have a curve, so Unholy Annex can help us make up for mulliganing to 5. But we're probably, I mean, we could just get run over really fast by this deck, though, before we have a chance to do anything. Yeah, I guess we'll keep Cecil back on defense, since he has Death Touch. Traveling Chocobo. Pretty crazy. So, yep. We're going to be dead next turn, most likely. I guess I'm just going to play this in the outside event that I do survive another turn cycle. This will give me a better chance of drawing a removal spell. That's insane. Alright. I'm going to bring in all the removal. Cut the duress. They have a lot of creatures. Demon Wall again sucks here. This is another situation where the bet would be a lot better. I could play Revenant, I could play Heist, potentially. Cut Demon Wall. Yeah, let's just run it like this. I'll play first. Keep this hand. As is Chocobo. I'm gonna... The thing's cute, but I'm gonna kill it anyways. Get him for 2. I need a little bit more pressure here. It's good to have this removal, though. Okay, that's good. Saboteur. This is exactly the type of card I'm looking for. Interesting. think I just killed the Chocobo though. Because even if he doesn't block and takes all the damage, it's only 10. Gives him another turn. But, I mean, they don't really have haste stuff, so... I don't know, how bad could it be having one turn with the Chocobo out? I think I'm just going to exile the Chocobo. This will put him down to 10, and then next turn I play the Bloodletter, and it's lethal at that point. So they could have a defense spell, so I'm going to play the Bloodletter, and then they just have to block Cecil and trade. Otherwise they die, so... Oh, I guess it gives them indestructible. Oh no, wait, it only gives him hexproof. It doesn't give him indestructible, so yeah. This is gonna be good. Snake's Veil does not give indestructible. Yeah, you have to block Cecil, otherwise you're dead. Alright, we got him that time. Going to game 3. This time we're on the draw, so that's very scary. Yeah, I don't think there's anything we want to change. We have the 5/1 mana removal spells. We're going to have to lean heavily on those. I'm probably going to have to mulligan to make sure I have some early removal. Is Annex kind of slow, where we'd rather have like a Revenant or a Demon Ball or something over some number of those, or maybe Duress? Okay, so let's try this. One Duress should be good in general, since they're going to be leaning heavily on those protection spells. Oh man. This is exactly the type of hand I said I was going to mulligan. On the draw, not having removal until turn 3 is basically GG against this deck. As much as I kind of like this hand, though, I think I have to mulligan it in this situation. I don't know. Could easily mulligan into a worse hand, though. I have a good chance of drawing some removal. Let's see. What's our chance of drawing removal? 8, 12, 10... Oh, wait. I'm adding up some percentages here. 8, 12, 14... 20%. Each draw we have a 20% chance at hitting a 1 or 2 mana removal spell. It's not good odds, honestly. My only hope with this hand is that they have a hand that's not optimal. Alright, let's mulligan. Alright, there we go. That's much better. Have a 2-mana removal spell at least. There's the elf. Nice, we got stabbed too. Perfect. This has his chocobo. And the land. I guess I'll just kill this thing. Kill it now while I can. Don't want to risk them untapping with a protection spell. Things getting out of hand that way. Okay, if that's their follow-up, then... Okay, they do have another land there. Okay, it's not looking too bad for us. Chocobo. So I attack, put the counter on the Chocobo, and then I charm Chocobo. Just trying to keep them off of resources. The Chocobo lets them draw potential cards, so trying to keep their resources low. It's very crucial in this matchup. Kind of close here. I mean, the Saboteur is like a slightly faster clock, I guess. I attack for 4 this turn, it goes to 12. Attack for 8 next turn. It's like either way, it's just a little slower than I would like. If I play the Revenant, it gives me the potential to double spell, higher potential double spell next turn. So, not sure. The Revenant also has Death Touch, so I think I'm going to play the Revenant. Definitely not going to put the +1 counter on the Hydra. That is definitely not something we want to do. But yeah, the Revenant blocks the Hydra too, so kind of buys us extra time in that respect. Okay, that's good. This sucks. I need a removal spell for these. For one, I gotta take out one of these to feel safe. It's not an option though. So I think I'm gonna attack with both and just try to get them on a fast clock before they can get out of control. All right. It's a tense game here. Tense game. Gene Morph, sure. I haven't seen that in that deck yet, but pretty interesting. So we could have like a pump spell, like the +1/+1 hexproof thing. Kind of feels like he does. I guess that's fine. We'll make him have it. Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. But the Saboteur wasn't doing much anyways, so... Getting the pump spell out of his hand opens up the potential removal that could be good here. Okay, this is gonna get really scary. I think we just dead. Yeah, we're dead. Dang. There wasn't much we could do about this though. All right. We just didn't get enough removal that game. We hit a spot where we just drew nothing but lands and Sunset Saboteurs for the rest of the day, and that wasn't enough. Started off promising though. So the deck I think is, I don't know, it feels okay. It feels like it needs some work still. But yeah, I don't know. I like it. I think I've not been really a big fan of the Demon Wall. I mean, it's good against aggro, but that's about it. It's I suppose it's better against aggro and maybe better against like control, since it's a late game or like mid rangey stuff than the bat. But the bat is really good against like the combo decks, like that green deck we just ran into, things like that. And it's more proactive too, which I like, since the deck seems to be at its best when it's doing proactive things. It can grind for a long time too, but anyways, yeah, thanks for tuning in. Let me know if you have any thoughts about the deck or if you've tried mono black in this format, and let me know if you have any suggestions or how it's been for you. And I'm probably gonna make another video with like a different mono black deck, more focused on Bob, Dark Confidant type stuff. But yeah, overall, deck is a lot of fun. Having a lot of fun with it. And we'll see if we can take me all the way to Mythic. All right. Thanks so much for tuning in. Please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content like this or if you found it helpful. And everybody have a great day.